The following presentation of the Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from Ralph's Food for Less, the nation's premier price impact supermarket chain. Food for Less is proud to be working with the community to enhance the lives of everyone by providing a diverse selection of products and customer service and by reaching out to support the communities in which we serve.
You're watching Channel 22, the best sports coverage in the South Bay.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to tonight's exciting CIF Southern Section 2007 Toyota Basketball Championships. I'm Rufus Washington, working solo tonight because we are stretched everywhere as we're bringing you a triple header. I'm here at Dos Pueblos High School, which is in Goleta. The Leuzinger Olympians are taking on the Dos Pueblos Chargers. As you see right now, the starting lineup's being introduced. Miles Allen has already come out, along with Donnell Beverly and Miles Allen. One change I may as well tell you right off the bat, Dominique Coy coming in, and that's the fact that Kevin Hodrick coming in and Deshaun Freeman not available tonight for the Leuzinger Olympians. Deshaun needing to put a little more time in the classroom and hit the books a little bit harder, and therefore he'll be on the bench, as you may see in the shot spectating with the rest of us. Let's get ready to meet the number 2 team in the Channel League, Dos Pueblos Chargers. A little bit about their team, we don't see them often. First of all, they play in the Channel League. They finished second with a 19-5 overall record. They were 5-3. First guy to introduce their number 1 man, Julian Stone. When you look at their stats, Stone wears jersey number 2. He's an all-do-everything player, 6'5", 190-pound senior. Next player they bring out is number 22, Sean Park. He's a junior. Ryan Bell comes out. He's a guard, number 11. I'm glad they told us before I said Bio. Spencer Schulte, number 21, 6'3", 170-pound senior.
6'5", senior number 45, Tom Woolley.
And Woolley, number 45, listed at 6'5". Well, first thing I noticed right off the bat is that Dos Pueblos is very generous with their height listing of their players. Let's go through just so you get a better feel for them. Fans, I tell you, their main guy is Julian Stone. He was their scoring leader with 375 points on the season, 15.6 average. Their rebound leader was Julian Stone, 191 rebounds on the season. Their steal leader, Julian Stone. Their assist leader, Julian Stone. Their block leader, Julian Stone. I think you start to get the picture. The only category that he did not lead them in was three-point field goals. Of course, on the other hand, we know all about our losing Olympians clad in their red road uniform tonight with the white trim. And they're led, of course, by Donnell Beverly and Derek Strings. But this Leuzinger team is the kind of team they play everybody, so we're going to see a little bit of it all tonight from the Olympians. Strings, of course, their leading scorer on the season. Donnell Beverly, number 2. Donnell, the assist leader for them. Donnell also the rebound leader, steal leader. So the Olympians control the tip. Donnell gets it. Donnell's shot goes up, comes off. Hodrick underneath, puts it up, can't get it to go. So the Olympians get 2 cracks at it, come away empty, and now going the other way is Dos Pueblos, and call for the player control foul with Sean Park. Had a simultaneous whistle. Officials looked at each other, gave it up to the trail official, to the lead official rather, whose area it was in, and he called player control. So that'll go as a turnover. Olympians now being a little more deliberate. And now they're going to call Donnell Beverly for the travel. The officials for tonight's contest are Doug Trout is the referee, Mike Perez is the umpire, and they both work out of the North Channel Coast unit. Julian yet to touch it, near steal by Miles Allen. That trademark pressure, Leuzinger defense comes up with another near steal, and this time they do get it. Might be wise of Hodrick to slow it down. Boy, and Kevin gives away a layup because he wouldn't stop and slow down the push, get the ball in the hands of a ball handler. So, Dos Pueblos takes the opening lead at 2-0, and we got a foul on the ground. Looks like that foul's going to be called against Tom Woolley.
Charger foul number 45, Tom Woolley. First personal, second team foul. No foul. No foul.
6:45 left here in the first quarter. Our score 2-0 in favor of the Chargers of Dos Pueblos. Hodrick now with the handle, spins inside, and he's going to be called for the travel. So that's the Olympians' second turnover here in the early going, both of them courtesy of Kevin Hodrick. Schulte gives it off to Bell, back to Schulte. Now they get it down the corner to Woolley. Haven't seen their main man touch it yet. That follow doesn't go. Olympians still fight for it, can't come away with it. Ball's loose. So right now, the Chargers are getting to it. Every loose ball. There's Julian Stone's first shot put up, doesn't go. Olympians running. Boy, this floor must be really slippery. Miles Allen fell. Now they're going the other way. That's Schulte with it. He gives it off to Stone. Stone, a tall, slender guy. But as I said, these are all everything guy. Boy, what a nice move along the baseline. And now we got another charging call. This one's going to go against Schulte.
Offensive foul number 21 of the Chargers, Spencer Schulte. First personal, third team foul.
So Schulte has a foul and Sean Park has a foul. 5:40. Olympians still looking to get underway. Boy, this floor is definitely slippery to the Olympian players. They are struggling to keep their balance. Ball now out to Donnell Beverly. Dominique Coy comes to set a screen. Officiating crew, a neutral crew. Of course, neutral to the extent that they come from the North Channel Coast. That means somewhere in this area as opposed to somewhere down in the South Bay, whether it's the Long Beach unit or the Orange County unit. That shot doesn't go by Stone. Olympians can't control it. Rebound comes off, and now Donnell Beverly takes it. He's going to push it. They're back with numbers. Smith shot put up from the outside and in. I said Smith, you know I meant Derek Strings. So that makes it 3-2 as the Olympians get on the board for the first time tonight. Olympian defense recovers well, going down the middle. Let's see. I think this time they're going to go with the block call against the Olympians. That foul will go against Miles Allen.
First personal, second team foul.
Ryan Bell at the line.
Ryan Bell at the line for the Chargers.
As I mentioned, fans, we are working all over town tonight. Bell hits a free throw that ties it up at 3-3 with 4:56 left in the first quarter. Misses the second, but they come away with the offensive rebound. That shot put up doesn't go. Olympians come away with a steal. Olympians have a little difficulty getting a firm handle on the ball, but Donnell Beverly pushes it up. He goes against Stone, Julian Stones. He can't get it to go, though. Stone now in the front court. Stone with a nice move. Nice pass off underneath. And you see why he's also the leading assist man for this Charger team as they lead now 5-3. 4:20 left in the first quarter. Low scoring affair thus far. Olympians got here early. I can tell you that because Coach Reggie Morris told me. Second three-pointer put up and in by Derek Strings. Makes the score 6-5 now. Ball gets in the front court, and the Olympia press gets beat badly. Our score 7-6, 3:40. Christian Stribling in the game now. Hodrick out of the way. Hodrick looks inside. It's going to be a foul call underneath. Let's see who this foul goes against. They call it on number 22.
Charger foul number 22, Sean Park. Second personal, 14th foul.
Park, one of the starters, that's his second personal. That shot put up from outside doesn't go. And now they got a foul called on Dominique Coy.
Second personal, 13th foul.
And they say that's Dominique's second. I'm not sure if that's what I have for Dominique. Thought that was the first. But we'll get that clarified later. That shot put up and in by number 14, Bo Rodriguez. And so now that makes it a 9-6 ball game in favor of the Chargers.
Substitutions
Of course, the Chargers are at home on the floor now for the Olympians. There are a couple of substitutes. That's Juice Deason who's come on, along with Randall Baker. Right now, the Olympians needing to adjust to the officials, although I'm certain that they would prefer if the officials adjusted to them because they're calling this one fairly tight. This is a lot. These guys are calling it and enforcing a much softer brand of basketball than the Olympians are accustomed to. That shot from the outside doesn't go. Olympians can't come down with it. The size of Dos Pueblos a factor here in the early going. Our score 9-6, 2:40 left in the first. They get underneath. Here's another three-point shot. That was put up and in by Spencer Schulte. And that forces Coach Reggie Morris into a timeout as our score is 12-6 in favor of the Chargers of Dos Pueblos. Had a chance to talk to Coach Joe Zamora of the head coach of the Dos Pueblos Chargers. Coach Zamora in his second year. Talked a little bit about what they would do offensively and in their overall game plan. And one of the things that he pointed out to me is that they intend to be very aggressive. They run a motion offense. They spread the floor. They'd like to get a lot of touches before the shot goes up. And so far, they've executed their game plan to perfection. Donnell Beverly now brings it up. Let's see if the Olympians can make a couple of adjustments offensively in terms of what they're trying to do. Beverly shot from the outside, good. So, Donnell Beverly's basket makes it a 12-8 contest now. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Olympians had one brief lead at 3-2. Otherwise, they've trailed throughout most of this quarter. That shot put up doesn't go. Olympians with inside position come down with the rebound. That was Strings who came down with it. Dribbling shot from the outside. It's good. So just like that, the Olympians come out of the timeout and score 4 quick points. Had a little push off between Juice Deason and Ryan Bell. No, that's Spencer Schulte, number 21. And they're still going at it. Fisher's going to catch this in a minute. Juice has got to keep his composure. We need you tonight, Juice. I know it gets a little chippy, but play basketball. Nearly knocked away by Donnell Beverly. Ball's loose. 12 on the shot clock. That's Julian Stone with it. Now they give it over. Stone back with it. He's being guarded by Donnell Beverly. Stone's jumper looks like it's going to be short. Olympians can't come away with it. Boy, Olympians really struggling on the board. That shot put up and in by Spencer Schulte. Of course, one reason they're struggling on the board, we mentioned it at the top of the show, and it bears mentioning again. Whoa! Wow. The referee, Doug Trout, calls that an offensive foul against Derek Strings. Boy, that's getting really, really close. And here's what I don't like about the way the game is being officiated. Not that the officials aren't doing a good job, and I want to make that very clear. But the point is this. You know, you play a certain style with a certain group of officials who are accustomed to your game, and now you come in, and basically your game is taken away from you, while seemingly the other team gets the benefit of playing their game, if nothing else, because they have some degree of familiarity with the officiating. Well, that's a disadvantage to the Olympians, added to the fact it's a disadvantage that you got to drive 3 hours to get up here. And right now they trail 14-10 with 20 seconds left in the first half. And there's a steal. Come on, lady. No, that's a slam dunk by Donnell. I'm glad he made it. If he had missed it, boy, he may have found himself eating some pine. But he set it up and get it. So, foul called underneath is going to be ball out of bounds. They call that foul on. They called it on Deason. You see that coming with Juice. Juice has got to get settled down. Boy, there's been a little bit of pushing and shoving between him and Schulte. Now, Juice is the kind of guy, he's not going to take any mess off of anybody, but he still must maintain his composure in terms of the game. Wow, ball goes out of bounds, so it's going to go over to the Olympians with 3 seconds left. They trail by a score of 14-12, but they'll get the last shot here with 3 seconds left. Come on, Donnell. Too much ball handling. They don't get a shot away. So, at the end of one, our score, 14-12 in favor of the Dos Pueblos Chargers. Right here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Boy, it gives us an opportunity to once again thank the fine folks, starting first with Larry Bender and the Hawthorne Cable Usage Corporation and the Lawndale Cable Usage Corporation for extending their resources to allow you, the South Bay fans of Hawthorne, Lawndale, and Leuzinger, to be able to see all three of those teams who are in action tonight. As I mentioned, Hawthorne right down the road, 12 miles from here, they're playing Santa Barbara, which was the #1 team in the Channel League. Leuzinger course, right here at Dos Pueblos playing the Chargers, who were number 2. And our colleagues at Lawndale, they're playing La Mirada. Lawndale lucked out. They got the home game, and they're playing La Mirada out of the Suburban League. So we open second quarter action with Dos Pueblos in possession. That's Julian Stone with the handle. Stone gives it off to Rodriguez. Leuzinger now playing a man-to-man defense. They let Stone slip away. That's something you don't want to do. The scout report should have told you, of all the guys that have on a white uniform, the one guy that you don't want to let get away from you is number 2, Julian Stone. Now out on the floor is Dusty Baker. He's number 55 for Dos Pueblos. The moment I see him, that answers one question for me. And Donnell Beverly answers another as he makes it a 16-15 ball game. 7 minutes left here in the first half. Leuzinger down by 1. Stone on the far side. Let's see how quickly the Leuzinger defense recovers. You got to get to the ball. They get it underneath, can't come away with it, and wow, indicate there's going to be 2 shots on the play. Leuzinger right now really struggling on the defensive board to come away with rebounds due to the size advantage, the considerable size advantage enjoyed by Dos Pueblos at virtually every position. That free throw goes. They give the foul to Kevin Hodrick.
Number 45, Woolley back in the game for the Chargers. Miles Allen and D. Morgan return for Leuzinger.
On the floor now for the Olympians are Miles Allen and D. Morgan. Boy, Donnell Beverly comes away with it. He's about all he's got. In terms of Donnell gets it to go as he attacks the basket. And he's going to tie it up at 17 and go to the line with an opportunity to give the Olympians the lead.
Julian Stone, first personal, 15 foul, Beverly at the line, shooting one.
Donnell's free throw goes. So the Olympians enjoyed their first lead in a while. Now they come back to their full-court defense. Let's see how quickly they recover. They do recover. Stone has it. He gets it underneath. Good low recovery, but, boy, putting it up and in is Tom Woolley. Beverly out top with the handle. Leuzinger gets it over to Derek Strings. Strings being guarded by Ryan Bell. String puts it up. Nice looking jumper by Derek Strings. Gives Leuzinger the lead back at 6:15 by a score of 20-19. Well, you can't take a beating on your press tonight, Olympians. Olympians come down with the rebound. That Strings gets it up to Donnell Beverly. Beverly dishes it off. Olympians can't get it to go. That was D. Morgan. Now it's going to go out of bounds off the Olympians. Good hustle on the defensive end. Now what do we got? Well, instead we've got a foul call. It looks like a call. That foul, I don't see it posted yet, but from the referee's signal, looked like it was against Derek Strings. Olympians get back. Stone gives it off in the corner. That shot put up doesn't go. Olympians doing a lot of tipping. Christian Stribling, who's got to play big tonight because there is no Deshaun Freeman. That shot put up doesn't go. Stribling tries to keep it alive. Goes to the floor, gets up a little bit slowly. Now getting back, man advantage, and throwing it away is Julian Stone. Stribling looking like he needs to come out for a second.
Demetrius Beeson back into the game for the Olympians.
Beeson comes in, as does, and Derek String goes out. Miles Allen comes in, as does Randall Baker. 5:20 left in the first half. Olympians leading 20-19. They're slowing it down just a bit, opening up the floor. Wow, Randall Baker shot from outside, doesn't go. Wow, and they're going to get Christian Stribling with the foul, and that's going to be Christian's second, if I'm not mistaken.
Bo Rodriguez back in the game for the Chargers.
Well,
Kevin Hodrick returns.
now they're saying it's a 1-and-1 situation. I think the question is whether or not it was a team control foul. Of course, shot comes off. Olympia's not having any success on the boards at all. That shot put up and in by number 21, Spencer Schulte. Wow. Boy, you talk about taking the guy out of the game. That foul's called on Kevin Hodrick, and that's his second one. I scored 21-20. A couple of ticks under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Leuzinger really having a difficult time with the officiating team. They come down with it. Donnell Beverly controls it. They trail by a point, 21-20. Beverly showing some ball handling skills. Right now what we need is shooting skills. Crossover by Donnell. Doesn't go pretty soon. Miles Allen goes to the basket, puts it up, can't get it to go. Olympians come away with a fresh shot clock. Donnell's got it. Need to settle it down. Take your time, reset it. 25-28 left on the shot clock. No need to rush the play. Donnell goes inside. Donnell still can't get it to go. Comes off. And now they say that foul's going to be against the Olympians. Wow.
Leuzinger foul number 0, Randall Baker.
That foul on Randall Baker.
Tom Woolley at the line for the
I believe
Chargers.
that's Randall's first foul. That'll send Woolley to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Woolley listed at 6'5", 205-pound senior. Shot doesn't go for Woolley. Still a 21-20 game is our score. 4:11 left. Olympians doing a pretty good job in spite of the foul situation of keeping this one close right now. Woolley converts the second, so he gets 1 out of 2. That's Donnell Beverly with the handles. Donnell being guarded by Julian Stones. Derek Strings back in the game. Juice Thiessen with it now. Juice gives it off the Strings. Over to Donnell. Three-pointer put up by Donnell Beverly. Comes off the corner and goes out of bounds. It'll go over to the Chargers. Juice Thiessen showing some full court pressure. Got to be careful with this. Man, this team is way too good. That pass put up and in. That's Stone with the pass. That makes it now a 24-20 ball game. Beverly out top. Again, Julian Stone showing his abilities. I can tell you, fans, with 3:25 left here in the first half, he's certainly already impressed me. He's as good as advertised, and there he is with the rebound. I told you, he's their leader in everything. He gives it off. Now they try to get it underneath. Don't get it to go. Rebound taken down by the Olympians on the wild shot. Here we are, Thiessen underneath. Juice gets it to go, and he'll go to the line to try to make it a three-point play.
Counted. Demetrius Thiessen.
Looks like they're going to give the foul to number 45, Tom Woolley.
Charger foul number 45, Tom Woolley. Second personal. Number 4, Keel Quinn in the line for the Olympians.
And now we've got a timeout taken on the floor, full timeout called by the Olympians. So, with exactly 3 minutes left here in the first half, our score, 24-22 in favor of the Chargers of Dos Pueblos. However, the Olympians are hanging tough, and Tell you what, boy, they're down a man. It's been that kind of season, though, where they've had guys fall by the wayside for one reason or another. As we look at the totality of the Olympian season, it's not lost on this reporter, just like I know it's not lost on you as Olympian fans, that this team has competed the entire season without Ralph Horton, who was expected to be a major contributor to the effort this year and certainly would have given them size. Ralph at 6'7", 220-some pounds. Then later on in the season, after a couple of games, they lost Duke Moore, excellent slasher that he is, great defender. However, they've kept going. And then, of course, coming into the night's contest, they lost Deshaun Freeman. So, nonetheless, as I always say, you play with the ones you came with, and that's what they're doing. These are the guys that are here, and these are the ones that are going to try to give it a go and see if they can advance the Olympians to the second round. This is Juice Deason's free throw. Juice, you only got 10 seconds, brother. Okay? Deason can't get it to go. The Olympians have as small a lineup as they can put on the floor. I think this is for pressure purposes. That's Akil Quinn that's out there. Akil Quinn, number 4. You got to get and cover everybody. Dominique Coy's on the floor, Derek Strings, Juice Deason, and Miles Allen. So, Leuzinger try to match up their speed against the size of the Chargers. And Julian Stone makes him pay for it with the no-look pass. Whatever these guys average, boy, they should give a lot of kudos and a lot of thank yous to Julian Stone, because he's the one that makes them average that. I haven't seen many of them create their own shot. Wow, turnover for the Olympians. Stone goes underneath. They're going to score the basket. Good call, blocking foul against the Olympians. Waiting for them to put it up. That makes it a 28-22 ball game. 28-22 with Julian Stone going to the line to try to convert the three-point opportunity.
His second personal.
Stone does, and now makes it a 29-22 ball game. Olympians with 2 minutes left in the first half obviously need to close this gap. Miles Allen with the ball. Donnell Beverly on the curl. Gets it over the String. String goes baseline. String shot put up, blocked by Stone. Stone now goes the distance, slows it down, kicks it back out to Schulte. Schulte with the handle, Schulte with the carry. No call. Schulte almost lost it. That shot put up and in by Sean Park. So now it's a 9-point ball game at 31-22 with a minute 23 left. Going to get a blocking call, and that'll be the 17th foul against the Chargers, and that'll send Donnell Beverly to the line. This home team crowd doesn't like it, and I kind of understand why. I thought I saw an elbow flare by Donnell myself. The official blocked out on it, didn't see it, so the call went against the Chargers. Now Donnell shooting the front end of the 1-and-1. Gets it to go, and that quiets the crowd momentarily, and that breaks the scoring drought for the Olympians. Donnell converts 2, cuts the margin to 7 at 31-24. Leuzinger defense needing to force some turnovers. Now they pick it up at half court. They had been picking it up at three-quarter court. Wow. Just too easy the way they're playing the Olympian press now. Can't get it to go, come away with it. They've got numbers down on the other side. Now, Olympian defense slows them down. Stone puts it up and in, though it's an 11-point game now. the biggest deficit of the game for the Olympians at 11, 35-24. Another foul on Stribling. That's a team control foul.
Number 21, Kevin Hodrick back in the game for the Olympians.
Hodrick will come back in. Boy. So Sean Parks will go out of the game for the Chargers, and in will come Robbie Nielsen. Wow. Again, now Coach Reggie Morris making the same observation that I made earlier, that this officiating crew is taking the Olympians out of their game again. They play in a league where that kind of contact is allowed. In the city, that kind of contact is allowed. Obviously in Santa Barbara, they don't allow that kind of contact. So they'll have to make some halftime adjustments. Ball comes off. If I were them, I would take it right at Santa Barbara. Wow. And now you've got another call against the Olympians. Now Coach Reggie Morris and the referee, Steve Trout, I believe that's his name, Doug Trout, having a bit of a go at. He puts Reggie back in the coach's box. Donnell Beverly Gardner, now they get it underneath. They swing it out. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. I scored 35-24. From way downtown, Stone's shot doesn't go. And that will end the first half. And as we look toward the scoreboard, we can see that after one half, our score stands 35-24 in favor of the homestanding Chargers of Dos Pueblos. And right now, head coach Reggie Morris, as he leads his team off the floor, none too happy with the officiating here in the first half, as it is his opinion that this particular crew has completely taken his team out of their game, not only defensively, but offensively. They've taken them out of their game, and a lot of times that's what happens when it goes on the road. However, we know that Coach Morris will go in the locker room, and his team will look to regroup, make some adjustments, and with our score at 35-24. Here's what we're going to do, fans. We're going to take a pause right here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, and we'll be back with second half action.
How you doing? This is Russell Westbrook from the Leuzinger Olympians and UCLA Bruins. You're watching the Game of the Week.
All right, fans, we open the second half with the Olympians in possession. Donnell Beverly brings it into the front court. They trail by a score of 35-24. They're going to have to get started early and make up a lot of ground. Seems to me that means it should be Derek Strings' time. There's Strings' first shot, put up and in, three-pointer by Derek Strings. Strings in the first half had 8 points. See if the Olympians do anything differently defensively here in this half. Once again, there's a man loose underneath. Olympians come away with it, but they can't control, and let's see what they're going to have. They're going to have a hold call, and that call is going to go against Ryan Bell. So what was an 11-point deficit is quickly 8. Olympians looking to close it even more. They've opened the scoring so far here. Hodrick with it, gives it over to Donnell Beverly. I can tell you, fans, they are looking to get Strings set up. Strings and Beverly, those are your money guys. There's Hodrick underneath, 8 on the shot clock. Donnell goes baseline, puts it up and in. Donnell Beverly. And what they've decided to do right off the bat is to attack this team. I think you got to get back defensively. You don't want to get burnt giving up defensive baskets. And here we are again, nearly in the same situation. Wow, that doesn't go. They come away with it. Now it's a matter of limiting your turnovers. Strings from outside, shot doesn't go, but he's fouled on the play by Julian Stone, and that's Stone's third foul. Boy, that would give us a chance to see how really good this team is if Stone has to sit down for a minute. And you can rest assured, I believe they're going to go right at him again. Strings, a free throw shooter extraordinaire with the opportunity to shoot three. Boy, if he converts all three of these, as he gets the first to go with the shooter's bounce. Well, you talk about a three-point play the odd way. If he would convert three, it's now a 5-point game. Strings gets the second to go. And now Strings looking for the trifecta. .6:28 left here. So Leuzinger comes out the locker room after trailing. And now we've got a 3-point game, and that forces Coach Zamora to call over his Chargers and get them to regroup. So the Olympians, whatever they did in the locker room at halftime and started out working, they've come out and gone on an 8-0 scoring run to open the third quarter. And that's taken this Charger crowd out of the game right now. And also, not only is it an 8-0 run, they also were able to force a foul on Julian Stone. And now we'll have to see how this Charger team responds to a little bit of adversity. We've seen how the Olympians respond to it. They were down by 11 at 35-24, and in just under a minute and a half, they've made it a 3-point ball game. Boy, they nearly give away the 3-point. It doesn't go. Now Miles Allen is pushing it. Got to slow it down, babe. There's Strings. Strings with the pull-up off the glass. It's good. And now they're within one at 35-24 as Derek Strings is completely on fire. Strings has scored 7 points here in the third. And now the Leuzinger defense comes alive as well. Stone over in the corner, being guarded by Miles Allen. He gives it out top to number 21, Schulte. Back to Stone. Stone's the guy we want to watch, boy. He dips and deuce. He puts it up. It doesn't go. Olympians knocked off the ball. Now they're running. Maybe you ought to slow it down just a tad. Beverly gets it. He looks underneath, gives it out to Kevin Hodrick, and the Olympians have come all the way back. And now they lead by a score of 36-35 with 5:25 left in the third. Still lots of basketball time. But, boy, this run has now become a 12-0 run, and they force another turnover. Now they're going to get a foul call. Good foul call, but here's what the Olympians must do. Slow the ball down. I know you're looking for the outlet play, but it's not worth getting the fast break if you're going to turn it over. So the Olympians with a 12-0 run came out trailing by 11, and now they lead by 1 with 5 minutes left here in the third. Beverly, wow, foul call underneath. Guys, you got to make the adjustment. You aren't getting anything here. Don't touch them. Come on, get with it. You know, I know that's not the way we want to play, but that's the way they're calling it, and you got to make the adjustment to the way that they call it. That foul on Hodrick is his third of the game. Olympians pressure picks up at half court now. That shot doesn't go. Coming down with it is Donnell Beverly. Donnell pushing it up. Donnell has to watch the handle, gives it off the string. String shot is good! And now the Olympians lead by a score of 39-35 as they have gone on an unprecedented 15-0 run to start the third quarter here, and that has forced Dos Pueblos into their second time out. Olympians have made some of the adjustments that they need to make. They're up by 5, 4:35 left. And right now you got the Chargers barking at each other a little bit. Of course, that's their leader, Julian Stone. He's trying to inspire his guys. He's telling them, keep your chin up, stay in the game. But right now, this team, thus far here in the third quarter, has wilted under the pressure of this Leuzinger defense. Miles Allen now taking on Julian Stone in the backcourt. Stone showing that he can handle the ball against anybody, including a guy 6 inches shorter than he is. Allen doesn't get to go. They call Allen for the block. Not a bad call there. Miles leaned under him. And now, as he comes over to Coach Morris saying that was a tough one to take. Maybe should have stayed straight up on him. What they were trying to do is to get that fourth foul on Julian Stone. They've already got him into the third one, and anytime that fourth one comes here in the third quarter, you can bet he's gone. Stone converts a pair, and that breaks the 15-0 run. Makes it 39-37, 4:13 left in the third. Swing pass across court. Strings has it. Not a sure-handed ball handler. Gets it over to Miles Allen, who is Dominique Coy has it, and it's knocked away. You got to feed him with a bounce pass on that, Dominique, rather than trying to throw it straight in. Get the ball over to got to stand still on that. Now, Miles Allen from three-point range can't get it to go. Julian Stone brings it up. Stone crosses over. Looks like he put two hands on the ball, but no call. Got to be mindful of where Stone is at all times, that's for sure. He now penetrates a nice over-the-head pass. They get it to go, and now we've got a tie ball game at 39 all. Boy. Stribling from outside. His shot doesn't go. Olympians come down with it. Stribling still with it. Stribling puts it up and in. Gives Leuzinger the lead back at 41-39. Was going to give you halftime stats, but that's no longer material. Right now, what's material is what's happening here. Stone puts it up and in. Stone's a force, and now it's tied at 41 all. Just a shade under 3 minutes left. Come on, Christian, you got to give it up. Miles Allen from three-point range, it doesn't go. They can't come down with it. They got numbers, and they convert on the numbers. So the three-point shot fails them. That shot put up doesn't go. Stribling comes down with it on the baseline, can't get it to go, and it'll stay. Wow. Official took a while to make up his mind, and now back in the lead at 43-41 are the Chargers, I should say. Well, I don't think Stone has been out the entire game. We've got 2:30 left. It's a two-point game. Wow, it's going to be out of bounds. Let's see if we get a foul call. No, we're going to get a reset of the clock. The Leuzinger defender was out of bounds on that play. Good hustle play. Juice Deezer now with the challenger guarding Stone. Boy, that's a size mismatch. Stone brings it over to this side. Deezer a good defender, though, although he's at a huge size disadvantage. Stone back over here. Stone, a very calm, patient guy. Stone now gets rid of it, throws it out. That shot doesn't go. Olympians come down with it slow and easy. There we go. Donnell Beverly running. Donnell looking for it. Donnell gets it off to Deason on the left side. Back to Donnell. Need to spread the floor a little bit. Lots of time on the shot clock, 20 seconds, 1:39 on the game clock. Leuzinger down by 2 at 43-41. Donnell looking for it, gets it to go. Donnell Beverly, and a timeout taken by the Olympians. A 30-second timeout taken by Coach Reggie Morris. a score, 1:25 left in the third quarter. We're knotted at 43 all. Now, why is that number important? Well, I'll tell you why. Haven't talked about him in a while, but 43 happens to be Baby Boy Washington's football number. Number 43 when you see him in the backfield for the Lawndale Griffins. And of course, when our Olympians prevail tonight, guess who they play in the next round at Newhouse? None other than the Lawndale Griffins in a matchup that I've been aching to see for a long time, and you all will get your first chance to see as he joins me somewhere along the broadcast way. Baby Boy Washington. Shouldn't call him Baby Boy. I know he doesn't like that. Branton Washington is his name. Anyway, back to the action here. Wow. And got a pushing call against Dos Pueblos. That went against Spencer Schulte. That's his second. The only guy I'm really keeping track of their fouls, fans, to be honest, which is number 2 in white. That's Julian Stone, because, boy, if you get him in foul trouble or out of here, you got yourself something. Of course, that won't be easy to do, and I know that that's not their focus. A minute left. Juice Deason's three-pointer, up and in. So Juice Deason adds a 3 to the effort. That shot put up doesn't go. Olympians come down with it. 37 on the game clock. They got numbers. Looking for another 3, and it goes for Derek String. So 6 quick points. Now you got to get back on defense. You ain't got to worry about that back there. They do pressure the ball just a little bit, though. Want to run clock 20 on the game clock. The shot clock is off. Randall Baker guarding Julian Stone. They've thrown a number of different guys at him. Wow, that one comes loose. Gets loose, puts it up. Doesn't go. Olympians can't come down with it. Stone. 2 seconds left. Doesn't go. So, a 49-43 score at the end of 3. Let me tell you what happened there, fans. The Leuzinger Olympians outscored them by a margin of 25-8 in the quarter. They trailed by 11 at half. They went on one of the greatest runs in the history of Leuzinger basketball, particularly under the hostile conditions. Hostile only because you're on the road in front of a packed house. The folks here at Dos Pueblos actually have been quite hospitable to us, so I don't want to suggest to you that they're hostile, but it's the environment. You're on the road. You're 125 miles from home. All you got is yourself, your teammates, and a couple of fans. I saw Anthony, the bus driver, over there. I saw Miss Striblin over there. Saw a couple of other Leuzinger faithful. They got the cheerleaders over here. Of course, when you're on the road, you don't get quite the same opportunity to cheer your squad on. So fans, we are 8 minutes away. 8 minutes away with the Olympians leading 49-43. Stone with the ball. Stone being guarded by Randall Baker now. Boy, they've thrown, as I said, a number of different looks. You got to call it out. Stone with it. They're taking away his options. I tell you what, if you keep the ball out of his hand, you got something going, because I haven't seen the other guys do much work at creating their own shot. Just like you see there, skip pass thrown across the court to the inside, doesn't go. Tip put up and in by the big man. That was Dusty Baker. Need to look outside, Derek. There we go. Gets it in the hands of Donnell Beverly. Now he gives it over to Juice Deason. They spread the 4. They're going to call it on the ground. Blocking foul is going to go against the Charger. And that's against number 22. That was against Sean Park. That's Park's 3rd. Woolley comes in to replace Baker. Strings three-pointer put up and in. Derek Strings has found the light And boy, Strings has been hot here in the second half. Strings with only one foul to his credit can afford to play tough. Boy, they give away the easy basket on the inside to Woolley. 52-47, dribbling shot, put up, it doesn't go. Boy, I'd rather see Christian playing down inside, considering their lack of height, rather than playing out on the baseline shooting jumpers. And now here's a steal by the Olympians. Shot put up and in by Donnell Beverly. And that's going to force another timeout. That's their third as the Olympians have a 7-point lead, 54-47, 6:26 left in the contest. Boy, the Olympians are doing themselves and their fans proud right now. And they've got this Charger team. They call it Charger Country up here. They've got this Charger team sitting on their hands right now as they are in control of this game. Boy, they showed no panic when they were down by 11 at the half, 35-24. As I mentioned, they came out in the third quarter, went on a 15-0 run, outscored Dos Pueblos 25-8 in the third to take a 6-point lead going into the fourth. And right now they've extended that by 1 to 54-47 right here on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. I'm telling you, fans, when you see Larry Bender around town, tell him, hey, Larry, thanks for making these broadcasts possible. Also, if you don't mind, tell him to put an extra $1 or $2 in my paycheck. I'd appreciate it. Nah, just kidding. They take good care of us, fans. They take real good care of us, and it's a joy and a real pleasure to do this. We're back to live action. Let's see if the Olympians can keep up the good work that they've had here in the second half. Lots of basketball time left. 6 minutes left in the contest. They lead by 7. Right now, what the Olympians are trying to do is deny the ball to Stone. They've got Miles Allen interested enough guarding Stone. Strings out here. There they go. The ball comes loose. Now the player goes inside, puts a shot up and in. Wow. Good defensive play by the Chargers that time. That gets their crowd back into it. Sean Park scored that last basket for them. Olympians now have got to tighten up defensively. That one comes out. They get it back. Stone with the ball. Donnell can't quite get to it. You got to get there. That one comes off. Wow. Wow. I got to tell you this, Roy. Julian Stone, come on, come on, come on. That's not the guy you want with that shot. I love Christian as a player and as a guy, but the outside jumper is not working for him and really needs to be looking more inside than on the outside. He's got to get back defensively on this guy. Olympians come down with the rebound. Lawndale, slow it down. You got to protect the basketball now. 5-point ball game, in case you wonder, 54-49 in favor of the Olympians. 4:45 left on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock. Olympians can afford to milk the clock a little bit. Donnell's three-pointer puts up, doesn't go, but they come down with it. They put it up and it goes. The basket's good. That was Dominique Coy on the basket for the Olympians, and he'll go to the line with an opportunity to make it a three-point play. And they say that that's the fourth foul on Woolley. So I'm going to mark it as 4. Again, Julian Stone only has 3, and that's the more important factor. Fans, it's a long ride back to Lawndale, and it sure would be nice to make that ride back with a W. I tell you, somehow or another, it makes it a little bit easier. But that remains to be seen. 57-49, 8-point game favors the Olympians. 4:25 left. The Olympians cut him off at the pass. That three-pointer put up doesn't go. Olympians trying to pull it down, and we get a push foul called against number 11. That's Ryan Bell. Wow, and that should be the 17th foul.
Number 11, Ryan Bell.
So Kevin Hodrick will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. There you go. Miles Allen actually, even though Miles is listed at 5'10", and Julian Stone 6'5", Miles has done an outstanding job on Stone defensively during the time that he's had him, and we see him pick him up again. What they're doing is, boy, they're forcing the ball out of Stone's hand. They're deciding, if you're gonna beat us, the other four guys have to slow it down, slow it down. Strings on the wing. Strings puts it up. Strings can't get it to go. Maybe should have burned a little more time off the clock than that. 3:50 left. They're up by 8. Wow, they step into it. Good ball movement. Can't get it to go. Olympians come down with the rebound. Slow and easy. There we go. And that's what Reggie says. Slow it down. Wow, no foul call there. That's why he wanted to slow it down. Wow, that was a travel that got away with it. If I was Reggie, I'd call a timeout in the front court. And score the basket for Donnell Beverly. And that's going to send Donnell Beverly to the line to shoot the bonus point. A score of 59-51. Donnell's free throw makes it 60-51. Boy, would love to talk with somebody in the Olympian program after this contest. Maybe we'll be able to get Coach Reggie Morris. I'm not sure. Again, we're working fans. We've stretched all of our resources to be able to bring you this. So if we aren't able to do it, understand it's not because we don't want to. It's because of the fact that our equipment is all over the area. And now a timeout being taken by the Chargers. And boy, if I'm not mistaken, that's got to be their final timeout. They've called 4 here in the second half alone. When they come out of the timeout, it'll be with 13 seconds left as you see a shot of the coaching brain trust of the Dos Pueblos Chargers. Again, very nice gentleman in his second year here, Coach Joe Zamora. He knew about the Olympians, and he told me that. He told me they were a very good team. They're playing a very good conference. But he thought it'd be a great test for his team, and he certainly appreciated the fact that they had a chance to play these guys at home. And now he's trying to urge them on to victory as they've got to make up a 9-point deficit in 2:55. When they come out of the timeout, they'll have 13 on the clock. The Olympians don't need to take anything for granted here. They need to get on the court. The ball's going to be put in play. Okay. I think you've got to anticipate that. I wouldn't push these guys. They throw it into the backcourt. Stone with it. Again, guarded by Miles Allen. I got to tell you, if the Olympians pull this out, I'd love to talk to them. That foul was on the ground. Boy, they're going to give him, they're going to score the basket. I can tell you, if you were looking at it on a replay, fans, he was fouled, no question about that. But he was fouled long before he attempted the shot. They give the foul to Derek Strings, that's his third. Stone comes over the top, he got to go the other way, and that's going to be Stone's 4th foul. That one was easy. Julian doesn't believe it, doesn't want to accept it. But that is Stone's 4th. I told you we were looking for that. Too early to start singing goodbye, Olympian fans. Much too early for that. And they're going to say instead of Donnell Beverly, the free throw shooter is Miles Allen. Wow. And that's the 5th foul on Julian Stone. I had Stone with 4. Boy, I got to tell you, you know, fans, we all want to see the best players play. And I, for one, will tell you, I hate to see Julian Stone leave the floor. He's put on a real show tonight. Boy, he, as I've said before, everything that I read about him was true. That shot goes in for Miles Allen, makes it an 8-point game. Now the Chargers will be forced to go without their leader, their emotional leader, their statistical leader, the rest of the way. What a tough break for the senior, Julian Stones, in what could be his final home game to foul out in front of the home crowd. They're down by 8, 61-53. The Olympians smell fresh meat in terms of knowing that there's nobody out there with the handles of Stone. Ball comes loose. Now, Olympians with only 3 team fouls. It's going to be out of bounds. They're going to give that foul to Kevin Hodrick. That's Hodrick's 4th. Olympians don't want to help him out here. Not with fouls. They come down with the rebound. Okay, wow. You got to protect the ball. 2:20, clock running. Our score is 61-53. My producer, Tom Strickfed, he said, Rufus, mention the score as often as you can. I hope I've obliged his request. 61-53 in favor of the Olympians. 2 minutes left on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock. Beverly with it, gets it down low to Coy. Coy was pushed, no foul call, but they get a fresh 35. Wow, now they say it didn't hit anything, so they put it up. That time it hit something, and now they score the basket, and they're gonna shoot one. That extends the lead to 10 at 63-53. As I've said, of all the guys you could talk to, the guy I want to talk to tonight is Miles Allen for the work that he did against Julian Stone. Wow, fans. You're talking about bringing it all the way back. We'll recap it. Here in the second half, the Olympians have scored 39 points after only putting up 24 in the first. Stribling tries to get it to go. They come away with it. They pull it out. Minute 44. They're going to force them to call a timeout. Got to go over and meet the ball, Miles. Got to go meet it. Okay. And now they get the blocking foul, and guess what? That's going to send the best free throw shooter in the Bay League, Derek Strings, to the line. He's going to be shooting 2 because they're in the double bonus now.
Derek Strings at the line.
Strings free throw, nothing but net. I told you, he's the best. He's the best in the South Bay. Converts the first, makes it an 11-point game with a minute 30 to go. Misses the second, ball comes loose. Wow, they're going to say Stribling pushed off. It's only the 15th foul for the Olympians. What we don't want to do is give them an opportunity to shoot. That's okay. That's okay.
His 4th personal. 15
Stribling with 4 fouls now. What you got to do, and here's where they're hurting. We asked the question earlier, what would it be like if Stone wasn't in there? And boy, now we're finding out. That 3-pointer put up doesn't go. They come away with the offensive rebound. They put up another one, doesn't go. Olympians can't come down with the rebound, no. Wow, they're gonna get another shot at it. That foul's gonna be on Donnell Beverly. That's gonna send them to the line to shoot 2. Well, instead they're gonna give it to Dominique Coy. Donnell Beverly was in the vicinity, but the foul's called on Coy. What this does, though, it gives the Chargers, in the form of Bo Rodriguez, an opportunity to go to the line to put points on the board with the clock standing still, and now we've got a timeout taken by head coach Reggie Morris. 1:07 left in the contest. As we pan over to the scoreboard, we see that our score, 64-54 in favor of the Olympians, but the Chargers will have a free throw when we come back out of it. But fans, what a second half it has been, as to this point, the Olympians have outscored them 40-19 in the second half. And we still got a minute 7 to go. An absolutely marvelous display of basketball by Reggie Morris's team here in the first round of the CIF 2007 Southern Section Playoffs. This is Division 1A that we're in tonight. The Olympians, as I mentioned, should they prevail, they will play the number 3 seed in the Division 1A playoffs, the Los Alamitos Griffins. But in a change, they'll get the Griffins at home because they traveled in this first round game. So in the next round, they get the benefit of the home game. But there's still work to be done. Can't put it in the refrigerator just yet. That one comes off. Stribling comes down with it, looking for somebody to give it to. Finally finds Miles Allen, who gives it over to Donnell Beverly. Ball gets loose, still the Olympians. Olympians have got to protect the basketball guys. This one ain't in the refrigerator yet. 58 seconds, 64-54. Wow, and you're gonna have a foul called there. That foul was easy to call. That's gonna be on Ryan Bell. That's gonna send Donnell Beverly to the line to shoot free throws. The Olympians not closing this one out though, in the kind of form you expect. Quite frankly, a little bit too sloppy with the ball. I think they feel like they've got the game in hand. I don't think Coach Reggie Morris feels that. And any knowledgeable fan knows that with 57 seconds left, there's still a lot of time left in this game, especially in the era of the three-point shot. That shot goes up and in. Second free throw coming. Let's see. Artificial noisemakers, if I'm not mistaken, are illegal. Wow. Doesn't do any good as he converts two. And now that's what you're going to have. The official is telling game management, if we can get a shot at the official on the far side, talking to the gentleman who's game management, here's what he's telling them. The use of artificial noisemakers is illegal, and he's asking this guy to let his crowd know, I believe, that they need to refrain from doing that. They have a conversation. I didn't see a gentleman who I presume to be game management give any admonishment to the crowd, but let's see what happens. 52 seconds left. Olympians up by 12 at 66-54. That shot put up and in by Worley. I thought that was the Chargers' last time out. If that wasn't, if the prior one wasn't, that definitely is. And now they are, and I see the official indicated completely out of timeouts as they trail by 10 at 66-56 in what has been an outstanding effort here in the second half by the Olympians here in Goleta, right next door to Santa Barbara. And of course the Hawthorne Cougars, we don't have any information yet on the results of that game. We're going to try to get that as quickly as possible. We certainly would also like to know what the results are. And if we get them, fans, we're going to pass them along to you in the post-game effort. In the post-game show, I should say, our effort will be to get you the scores from our other two games. So, as the Olympians break the huddle, it'll be their ball to inbound on the baseline. Full court pressure being shown by the Chargers. The Olympians can run the baseline, looking to get it in. They do finally, and there's a foul. They fouled Donnell Beverly. That's a desperation foul, but it's the right strategy. You can't let them run the clock out because that's exactly what they're going to try to do. Again, as I've told you, our objective, if we can, is to try to get Miles Allen for a post-game interview and maybe a couple of words with Coach Reggie Morris as well. I'm not sure. Let me check with cameraman while we shoot that. Donnell Beverly shot is off. Do we have the capability for post-game interviews? And cameraman extraordinaire, one of the best in the business, Eric Chavez, gives a nod of the head, and he says, yes, we can. I know the Olympians will be anxious to get out of here, but if we can grab a couple of them, we will, fans. But it's understandable if they're anxious to get on the bus and get back down the road. Second free throw put up and in by Donnell makes it 67-56 with 43 seconds left. There's that number 43 again. What's special about that number? Remember what I told you. That's Baby Boy Washington's number. Christian Stribling comes down with the rebound, slapped across the arm, and now Christian Stribling will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. 34 seconds left. The wind just about out of the sail of the Chargers.
Charger foul number 22, Sean Clark.
Haven't seen what the Charger mascot is. I know they go by the Chargers. I'm not quite sure whether that's, I'm from the era where Charger was, boy, a Dodge Charger from in the 60s, man. If you had one of them, you had yourself something in terms of a car. And actually, as you know, for some of you old heads out there, you know that they brought the Dodge Charger back because it was one of the muscle cars of the 60s and 70s. Stribling at the line, fans. He'll be shooting 2, looking to extend this 11-point lead. I think Christian's played a very good game tonight as well, other than a couple of shots from the outside. Of course, you know, he's taken that outside shot with a great deal of regularity this season. Didn't go inside as much as we saw him do last year. Second free throw doesn't go either. Clock will run, though, 30 seconds left, 11-point game. Olympians still need to play good defense. That shot put up doesn't go. They contested. What they don't want to do is foul. They give another 3. That 3 doesn't go. Ball's loose on the floor. They still have it, 15 seconds left. That shot in the paint doesn't go. Wow, Stribling skying to get the rebound. And now they're going to call a held ball possession arrow favors the Olympians, and Dominique Coy down on the floor. Coy gets up. Now he'll be substituted for Randall Baker will come in for him. Wow. Now with 10 seconds left, fans, you can officially put this one in the books. The Olympians have gone the distance, the long distance, all the way up to Goleta, and after trailing by 11 at half, 35-24, they're going to leave here tonight with a win over this very game, but overplayed Charger team, and the clock's going to run out. That's it. That's the final. You'll see me Tuesday. That's Anthony, the bus driver. We're going to see now if we can get someone to talk to us from the Olympian program. Boy, their fans are happy. I would be happy too. It makes the ride home just a little bit sweeter. As I say, we want to talk to Miles Allen. We're trying to get somebody's attention down courtside. Let's see if we can get. Okay, tell you what, let's take a quick pause for the cause right here on Lawndale Hawthorne's Community Cable Channel 22. Our final, once again, Leuzinger 67, the Chargers 56. We'll recap in just a moment.
How you doing? This is Russell Westbrook from Leuzinger Olympians and UCLA Bruins. You're watching the Game of the Week.
Good evening, fans, and welcome back for the post-game show of tonight's first-round contest, which was at Dos Pueblos High School up in Goleta, California. We're 125 miles from home, but guess what? The Olympians came in after trailing by 11 at the half, went on a 15-0 run in the second half, and they get out of here with a 67-56 win. I'm talking right now with Miles Allen, one of the stars of the game. Miles, you're here because I watched your defense in the second half against Julian Stone. Talk a little bit about what that challenge was like.
All right, at first, I wasn't guarding him at first. At first, in the first half, I was guarding number 21, a shooter. But I guess Coach wanted to try something different because since they was leading and tried to have me guard the point guard or whatever, he not all that quick on his feet, so I know how to guard. You know, I'm used to guarding Donnell in practice every day, so it wasn't all that hard. And I guess he got a little tired, so thanks to my teams, my teammates, they was helping me out.
Let's talk about that 15-0 run to open the second half. First of all, let's talk about what happened in the locker room at halftime, because some kind of fire was lit under you guys.
Yeah, we didn't want to go home on that long bus ride back and been, thinking about the loss. We've been through a lot, And the half, coach wasn't gonna give up on us. He didn't holler, he kept us cool, and he just told us that we need stops, and that's what we did. We came out, we got stops, and we our offense came in good, I guess.
All right. Tell me a little bit about, you guys play a lot of guys, but Julian Stone, I mean, just talk about him a little bit as a player, what you saw out there with a guy of his caliber tonight.
Well, I can see that he's a good player. Tonight he was probably off in the second half. From what I see, he's a great passer.
No, I understand, and you're right. A great observation. I tell you, this guy has a place in show business, or I should say in the broadcast game, because that was the same thing I said. His passing was actually phenomenal. I mean, I saw him thread the needle on a couple of passes that were just unbelievable.
Yeah, because he's so tall, and when you're trying to follow the ball, he's throwing over your head, or if you covering the ball high, he's throwing low. So he had good teammates to catch them passes and get his assists. So he did a great job on the passing, and he's a great leader for his team.
Let's talk about what a couple of your guys did. Derek Strings got going in the second half on the three-pointers, and, man, that's what really opened the floodgates for you guys.
Yeah, since the beginning of the season, Coach has been telling him to give him the green light to shoot the ball, and we've been on him every day in practice, telling him to shoot that ball because he's a great shooter. And thanks to him, he been helping us all the way throughout the season, and he did a great job today, and I appreciate him and all my teammates.
Well, that's good of you to say. I got to tell you, you're a key ingredient to this effort tonight, and I want to reiterate that your defensive effort on Julian Stone in the second half was also tremendous. You guys get Los Alamitos coming up next. I can tell you, I know a little bit about them. You've heard, boy, they've got a twin tower lineup that's going to challenge you guys again. You're a little bit on size. When you look at the fact that some of the teams you play against, and like this team tonight and again against La Salle, where you don't match up quite as well in size, what do you look to do to make up the difference?
We're going to play a lot of help defense. We're going to front that post good against whoever the Twin Tower. I never seen them before, but I heard they won the CIF last year, and hopefully we front that post and getting great help. And everybody else, we just defend 100%, give it our all. And we're going to be at home, so our fans going to be right there behind us to help us out.
Outstanding. Fans, a great interview. One of the best player interviews we've ever had on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Miles Allen, #1 for the Olympians, making the ride back home with a big smile on his face. Miles, congratulations, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right, that's Miles Allen, fans, and we got Coach Reggie Morris coming in just a moment. Reggie's coming over now. Come on in, Coach. You've earned it. Congratulations on a great team win tonight. You guys were down by 11 at the half. Things looked a little bit dim. You came out in the third quarter and went on an unprecedented playoff 15-0 run. What happened? First of all, what happened in the locker room, and then what happened on the floor?
We actually had a shorter halftime than we usually do. I didn't really scream or yell or anything. I just told them that we've been a good third quarter team all year, and I thought the pace that we created in the first half, it didn't kind of get to where it needed to be, but I thought that we started wearing them down. So I thought that they were primed to get gotten, and we made a couple adjustments, and they seemed to work, and we just stuck with them. And we always switch our defense and do a lot of different things. We tried that in the first half, and we found the one thing in the second half that worked, and we stayed with it, and it worked for us.
All right. I don't know if you want to give away any trade secrets, but what was that one thing that worked in the second half?
Well, being that we've lost a few players, we were really getting killed on the glass, and Donnell is our leading rebounder, but he was also guarding their best player, which was away from the basket. So we decided to take him off of the best player and move him on a bigger guy so that we could rebound and turn that into fast break points, because the best thing about having a big point guard like Donnell is that once he rebounds, he can initiate offense right away. And that was how we were able to get going. They weren't able to lock in on Strings as easy, and they found him a few times in transition, and he got to the rim in transition. That turned the whole tide of the game.
Strings definitely got going in the third quarter. He came up with 3 big three-pointers as well as a couple of free throws, and that unleashed the torrent where you outscored him 25-8. I mentioned about Miles Allen. Who else was important in tonight's contest? I mean, because it truly appeared to be a good team effort.
Well, everybody had to step up because we're shorthanded. But, I mean, These guys have worked hard all year. Miles did a great job guarding the bigger guy, and he put a lot of pressure on him. He fronted the post when he got posted up. I thought our forwards played much better in the second half. Dominique Coy, and we got a big game from Christian Stribling, who was due to play. And with a couple of our forwards being down, he's got to step up and play, and he did tonight.
Okay, great. Good mention of Christian Stribling. Just want to take a quick second. I know you don't like to talk about it. I don't like to. The officiating in the first half, though, seemed to take the Olympians a little bit out of their game of the kind of rough and tumble city ball that they play, a little more aggressive than it looks like they want to play up here in Santa Barbara.
Well, the officials called the best game that they could, and officiating is objective. You may see it one way on the sideline, and they see it a different way in the game. We make our practices tough, and I'm the worst official ever, and I do it on purpose in practice because you never know what's going to happen in situations like this. You can't look at the referees. You got to make sure that you make plays and you don't have any excuses, because excuses will get you losses.
All right. There's a big smile on my face, Coach, and you know why. This win tonight creates a matchup that we wanted to see for a long time, and you get to get it at home. Next week, on Tuesday night, the 20th, at Lou House, you guys take on the CIF Division I AA champion from last year and went to the state, the Los Alamitos Griffins. What are your early thoughts? I know you haven't had a chance to really start to prepare for them, but what are your thoughts about facing them? Because I know you saw them last year during the playoff run because we were at the gym together.
Well, assuming that they won, we play them at home, but they're a number 3 seed. They're real tough. They're a really big team. They play a lot of zone. They're outsize us a lot, but it's just going to be who can dictate their style on the other team. Being that we play at home, it's going to really help us to play the speed-up game that we want to play, because our gym is tailor-made for the way we play with the pressing and the changing of defenses, and it was the shooter's gym. So hopefully we can affect them with speed, because we don't want to get caught up in a physical game with them.
Great. Coach, I know it's a long ride back home and you guys are anxious to get out of here. I want to say again, congratulations on the final 67-56 on a game when the Olympians went on a 15-0 run. Coach, again, one of the best efforts we've seen from the Olympians in a long time. Congratulations to you. And again, we'll see you on Tuesday night at Lou House.
Thanks a lot. It's a lot better ride knowing that we won instead of having to go back on a loss.
You got that right, including for me too, driving back. Have fun, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
See you Tuesday.
You're absolutely right about that one. Head coach Reggie Morris of the victorious Leuzinger Olympians. So they get out of the first round, even though they had to come on the road. They had to come 125 miles from Lawndale up to Goleta to take on the Dos Pueblos Chargers, a very good Dos Pueblos team that had control of this game in the first half. As I mentioned, their star player, Julian Stone, number 2. Boy, I've seen a lot of good ones. That kid is as good as any that I've seen. But a one-man show will never, ever beat the Leuzinger Olympians, and you can make book on that. It takes 5 and then some, and they showed that tonight. And why? And that's because they aren't a 5-man team. They're an 8, 9, 10-man team. Reggie goes deep in his bench. Every guy that wears that uniform for the Olympians can contribute, and he expects them to, and they almost always deliver. Well, fans, it's about time for us to get out of here, get in the car, and make that ride back home. But it's going to be a fun ride, as once again, our final from Dos Pueblos High School, first round of the 2007 CIF Division 1A Toyota Championships. The Leuzinger Olympians prevail by a margin of 67-56, and for that, they get to play on Tuesday night a game that you won't want to miss, I guarantee you. The Los Alamitos Griffins, a state finalist last year, but they got to come to Lou House and face the pressure of the Leuzinger Olympians. For my partner working tonight behind camera, Eric Chavez, I'm Rufus Washington saying it's been a pleasure. We've got games all over the area. We'll get you caught up on those down the road when we see you again. Once again, fans, good night. Drive safely. We're out. Bye-bye.